Priscilla? It's a four-legged version of Priscilla. It's a cat version. No, people, you can't connect to them. They're too busy getting their brains fried by the third dimension. So the NPC graduation, well, obviously it's only like very few. Like microscopic for... I don't know how many people are graduating from the NPC reality. Can't be many. Or none. Well, there is some, obviously, but they're already graduated. Welcome to the Matrix, or outside the Matrix, or yeah, we're more screwed than the regular people. Yeah, you can't beam out of there. It's like, oh, look, I'm broken free. What the hell am I still doing here? You can't leap out. They're stuck here. Yeah, talk about an alienation, or you become more alien, you feel more isolated than ever before. And I don't think you can go back either. I don't think it's possible. And of course, there's different types of, I mean, when you're outside the Matrix, you're outside the Matrix, the way it is. And then, of course, there's still a physical energy, of course, because the physical, of course, once again, the majority here are plugged into the system and not coming out anytime soon, because that's, because they're kids. They haven't grown up yet, or I don't know what's there, man, nothing. I guess just sports and trying to be rich or whatever the hell it is, and self-indulgence of nothing that great. Mediocrity. And again, the spiritual stuff isn't all that great either, but not that I can get on your spaceship and go to another universe or something, but at least you have a different set of eyes, you can say. It's actually worse, actually. Just the way it is. If it's not worse, you're probably still an NPC then. If you're not feeling the pain, you're probably just a plugged in spiritual NPC. Haven't quite made the leap yet. Yeah, there's not that many. For those that are making it, yeah, it's painful, it's difficult, but you guys gotta be yourself. For those that are plugged into the system, because there's different versions of the NPCs, and that is the mass majority. They obviously haven't cleared out their chaos, obviously. But as we go forward, we see more of what an NPC is and how they're controlled, and whatever you need to see there, if you need to see anything. It's part of your path also. I mean, you see how the system is ran. I'm not talking about the elite. Of course, technically the NPCs are the elite, because there's more of them than anybody else. They're everywhere, enjoying mediocrity. That's what I mean. It's like, so the mass majority, are they like canine people? I see them as monkeys. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. I know it's bad labeling, but whatever. Fuck it, right? Well, it's on how you see it. You see it from but that's where you see the child race, because they're obsessed with sports and just primitive things. Now you can still be outside the Matrix and still enjoy those things. You're just not, you see it from a multi-dimensional level. You might see football people or sports people as reptilian beings or whatever it is, or whatever, or super soldiers, or but then again, those that are like plugged into that super soldier stuff, well, that's NPC stuff too, because it's just chaos. It's almost like a mental disease. Now, some are healing it, some are just making themselves worse, because it's like, should I be an NPC? Should I be a galactic Federation fighter. What should I be? He's like, oh God, help us all. Just make life more difficult. But when you're really, well, the idea is to graduate, is to bring in more inner peace. At least put some effort into it. So you don't have to come back here. There's not much to come back to. What is there to come back to anyway? What the hell is it doing? What is here now? Nothing. Just it's for the kids. So the adult kids. Yeah. Do you envy any of that? Well, in one way of just there are more of them. At least you have a collective. But that's about it. It's kind of like going to church. Like being an NPC is like going to, yeah, it's like going to church. And there goes, look who's here. Yeah, cameo. Yeah, photobomb. Just had to do it, didn't you? Couldn't hold back. I lost my train of thought too. Yeah, getting old. Either way, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Supermodel had to make her appearance and shit. Well, even like, I'll probably bounce back to what I was talking about, I forgot, but, I was just making fun of NPCs probably. Calling them a bunch of monkeys. Call them whatever you want, though. Like I say, well, they call us all kinds of stuff, right? We're the ones screwed. Of course, they're kind of screwed too, because they're living that primitive monkey life. So, anyway. Yeah, it's still the elite, though. They are the 1%. Well, they run everything, or the 99%. So the 99% that act like the 1%, and they cry about it. Oh yeah, but the animal energies. It's just, yeah. It's. I mean, more people are seeing. At least I see on Twitter or X, whatever they call it. People are seeing how similar animals are to us. Not quite ready to make the leap though, but they aren't that much different. They just don't have to pay bills and, they get to sleep all day. But yeah, they have personalities and all of that, and like I say with the gorillas or the monkeys, because the monkeys act like kids basically, right? That's when you see a lot of the characteristics. It's hard to see it. I mean, I don't know how. Of course, you probably see it with kittens and puppies and all of that, but when you see like the monkeys, how they operate, it's similar to like a regular kid, right? The parent just sitting there, let's get the hell away from me. Yeah, the cats do the same thing, their own way. So, but at least with the monkeys, you can see it a little bit more clearly. But people are seeing it, but they're not seeing how they're connected to the animal realms. Not quite ready to take that pill. Some are, yeah. When you're ready to take the pill, then like I said, then it goes through all the spiritual development and see how many are lost, spiritually aware, but lost. Just lost. Just spiritually, and of course, you have the New Agers that are. I think a lot of them are spiritual NPCs too, because they might be spiritually aware, but they still are kind of locked into the physical mentality. Just haven't quite, like, what does that even mean? To let it go? Just not to hold, I don't know, you can just kind of sense they're kind of holding on to it. All the prettiness and, like some of the New Agers, they're into like trying to find the love of their life and whatever. If you can find the love of your life as a spiritual NPC, you're a spiritual NPC. Because you're still part of the system. If you're outside the system, you can't find shit. Good luck. If you can, maybe you created it somewhere. It's very rare. Because most of them are plugged in. Yeah, get a dog or I don't know. go swim somewhere. Maybe get pulled out into the ocean. Take it to another planet or something. Yeah, if you can still make this reality work, they're probably still NPCs. Because there's nothing wrong with that. Some of them are halfway decent individuals. That's good, because a lot of them are toxic psychopaths. Yeah, I know. It's like I say, you go to those conferences. It's like, okay, there's people trying to learn. They're not trying to be psychotic, but there's others that are just, they can't help themselves. They're in the spiritual disguise. Oh, I'm part of the spiritual community, and then it's like, oh look, by the way, I'm a psychopath. Oh, thank you for sharing that. Shit. So that's one way to learn. It's like you go into church and you find out. Yeah. So, it's not what it's cracked up to be, is it? Well, it depends on how it occurs, I guess, right? But a lot of those conferences just for spiritual NPCs, basically. Like I say, if you can get this reality working for you, depending on the situation, they're NPCs. So, yeah, I saw the Matrix, man. You're outside, you deactivate the chip, and only a couple of people notice you. It's like being a ghost. They see you, but you don't really matter. You can't really connect because your software is you hacked your software and you're outside the system. You jump the fence. You don't give a shit. You might care about sports, but you don't give a shit about sports. Or you see it, but you're not like obsessed with it. There's other things in life that people will never hear about, but not even like they get scared of it or something like that. Yeah, a lot of NPCs, they enjoy their the mundane, whatever the fuck that, even all the worries and all the mundane worries, all the mundane everything. Of course, we have to go through it too. Now, why we have to go through it? It's just, I can say, get it out of your system. It's like we've been, you have to incarnate it to some kind of system program. You have no choice. Yeah, it makes it easier. Doesn't mean you have to be an NPC. You can still be like outside the matrix. You exist within them. That's what makes it more difficult. They reject their education system, reject their social system. Oh, God. They don't have a movie like that, do they? I don't think they do. It's kind of like 1984, but you're living among them, but you're not part of anything. Like, you obviously have to have some kind of job to function, but you're the one that they're trashing all the time because you're not part of the system. You don't have a relationship that they approve of or anything. You kind of live like an anomaly. It's like you're living I'm speaking from experience. They can't figure you out. Because they call you all kinds of names. So calling them a monkey and all that, might as well throw it back at them, right? Yeah, that's very insulting, right? Yeah, you get them with that. But they give a shit. A lot of them have not done anything with their lives or whatever. That's their deal. Whatever. It's definitely not worth getting caught up in that one. What matters is that your own mental survival in a society that's plugged in. Okay, check those hair things down. Yeah, you wonder why I keep talking and all that. Well, it's different phases of it, and this is the phase of some kind of I don't know. There's no end to this, it seems. Where things are going is unclear. We have the drone stuff that's out there, and I don't think those are alien. I would not see that as an alien invasion. I think that's not in a negative way. I think it's more of if they shutting down airports and stuff like that. I think that's a good thing. Yeah, it's just part of wherever we're heading into. But I think those are the good guys doing that. In some cases, I don't feel it's the bad ones. If they're, part of our army or not, I feel like they're more alien. I don't think they're part of the, you know, backward and reverse engineered people. But who knows? That's hard to read, and it doesn't matter as long as you feel the intentions. Doesn't matter. It's no way to really know it. So I have to go land their ship and say hello. That would be. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. But the reverse engineer guys, the government and all, I don't know. And you feel all their crap and all their issues and all their insecurities. Like, fuck that. I'd rather just see a reptilian. Screw those guys. Or an insectoid or whatever. But they're not showing themselves. At least not physically or however they want to do it. It's not necessary. Yeah, because it really takes you out of your, unless it benefits somehow. Yeah, they're not going to show themselves for, it's like, is it going to help you leap into your next direction? If they're just going to show up and say hi and disappear, it's like, that's the biggest F you ever. Who the fuck wants to be here? I mean, some people like being here, but I'm definitely not one of them. I'm tired of it. But I get to be around all the spiritual psychopaths, so well, they're not all like that. There's enough of them. Yeah, it's not entertaining either. It's kind of just the cult leaders and all that. Just kind of gets old, but whatever, right? Yeah, go do you, whatever that. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be here for a while. This is their world. They think they're leaving this world. Not when you're doing shit like that. Go to some kind of earth purgatory. But, people need someone to worship. So, happens all the time, right? I'm trying to fix this. I can't see anything. This isn't going to work, is it? Just changing the. Get fired. There we go. Nope. I think I need to get a new thing. I just cleaned it out. It's not working. So yeah, what is this all about, or what's where we're heading into? Obviously, nothing is clear as usual. The shutdown's a good thing. If it's a pain they're probably going to start laying off a lot of unnecessary workers, depending on how long this goes. I think it has something to do with some kind of government purge. Obviously, there's a lot more to it than that. Maybe they'll get rid of the IRS. That would be good. Just get rid of all of it. But the cartel stuff will be very serious, and that's what a lot of this ICE stuff is going on, the immigration thing. Oh yeah, it's very rooted into that. Of course, we don't hear the stories of it, but definitely there's something not right there. So a lot of it's in California. It's everywhere, but California seems to be a lot of where the cartels are, because it's California. Ran by a cartel. Like I say, government cartel. And so, of course, it's, obviously, it's talking about, it's almost like South African criminal elites, running it. Just no morality, no nothing. That's California. Yeah, the governor and all that. Yeah, it's just gross. Gangster. Yeah, it's gangster. Yeah, you can see it on a comic level, on a fictional level. It's like it's so criminal. It's like a comic book villains. Technically, kind of looks that way, doesn't it? You can see it that way because it's so. It's in a suit. They're wearing a suit. They're not wearing any kind of crazy costumes. That would help. I don't think he has a costume. Maybe he does. Costume criminal. Maybe he does for Halloween. I guess we'll find out Halloween to dress up like something. So yeah. Um, so from tapping in, of course, obviously, I think the alien energies have gotten a lot more stronger here recently due to wherever this is heading into. The U.S. has to go through some time of transformation. It has. It's. Yeah, there's going to be some pains, but it's not going to be like the end of the U.S. But it's got to be some kind of restructuring at some point, like the financial system, like the debt. I think they're obviously I mean, I feel like also the Galactics are no doubt assisting with that to keep us, the U.S. from going down the drain completely. I think there's a lot of guard. There's making sure that does not happen, but there's going to have to be a transformation of the United States eventually, in some form. Where there's going to have to be some major changes, but not like the. I know some people probably feel like there's a Great Depression or something, but I don't think so. Some is maybe more of the U.S. going through its transformation. It might feel like it's a Great Depression. You don't know really what the hell it is, because wouldn't we be in that right now? Because we're not doing so hot right now. Economically, we're surviving. It's kind of like on a miracle trip, right? So, but the U.S. has to, I'm not doing gloom and doom or anything like that, but I feel the U.S. has to go through some kind of restructuring at some point, probably in our lifetime, who knows, of where it's a different place altogether, just managed differently. I guess you can say Trump's kind of doing some of that. Of course, who's behind Trump is doing that. He's just like the figurehead of it. He's letting it happen, especially going after the cartels, because it's kind of an important thing, kind of. The military stuff, they're not going to show us a lot, of course. What we can't remember for obvious reasons. I just feel like the U.S. has to, transform. Like I say, you are kind of seeing like the old businesses are going away. Some of them are, and just it's so gradual. But I would say, I don't know when, of course, but there'll be like a switch. Like you really start to see things happen at some point. Who knows when? That's like keeping your sanity through this. As those are becoming less part of the system, like I said, those numbers are very low. Becoming less NPC or just disconnecting all the matrix programming. Hopefully, get more of an insight of. It's like there's a lot of. You can't connect to society because whatever, a kid race, right? I don't know how they even do it. I'm not sure if I could ever do another lifetime. Probably not. God, because like you get the cold shoulder, you get attacked by his NPCs because they like being NPCs. Like that's the only that's the only manual of life they can read. They can't see beyond that. So it's definitely not you, unless you're like a psychopath. Well, if you're a spiritual psychopath, you probably have all kinds of NPCs on you. But if you're not, if you're just a good, halfway decent, neutral matrix rebel, broke out of the matrix, I lost my train of thought on that. But either way, you're, the NPCs here, it's just amazing. It's like you get chewed out by these NPC people that are they just throw everything at you because you're not into the sports or whatever kind of nonsense that they're. It's like what the fuck? It's like a baby throwing a bottle at your face. This is why a lot of alien races even want to take out or wipe out the human race, because it's such a child society. I don't usually talk like that either, but yeah, when you look at it, you know, it's just allowing mundane problems get to people. They're self-sabotaging all the time. You know, they don't want to grow, they don't want to change, they don't want to grow up. Because intergalactic energy is just becoming more aware. Well, it's going to happen if they like it or not. Well, it's going to come in no matter what, because saying no to it can only go so long, and now it's time for the more of the galactic transformation of the planet. Like when the aliens arrive, obviously they're not going to say anything. I mean, I feel like they are here, obviously. They're just making themselves more known, but on more of a fifth and fourth dimensional level. And not, they don't want to drive us insane. They know we're going crazy, probably, because, well, once again, if you're breaking out of the system, you're disconnecting from all the NPC stuff. Yeah, that can be very nerve wracking if like you're losing your mind, having a psychotic breakdown. I completely understand. Because you're truly unplugging from this, the mindset of these people too. And you still, obviously, you're human. You want to have the human experience. That's completely understood. Even with the financial stuff, the personal relationships, it's understood. But after a while, you'll start to get more of a connection to more stability. I don't know about the whole relationship thing, because, yeah, most of them are, Neanderthals. Like I said, it's just the way it is. I mean, I'm not trying to be insulting, but again, I get insulted all the time anyway, so what's the fucking difference? I'm the peon here. More of them there isn't me, or any of those out there that are like, we're just nothing. And they can throw all their rage and all their sports-loving nonsense at you, or whatever the hell it is. What the fuck? Celebrating birthdays that don't fucking matter. Or even all these holidays that don't mean anything, really. It's so childish here. Whatever works for you. But they reject it, all the multidimensional stuff. And even in the movies, it's all salt and peppered in there. Even those that are spiritually aware that can't let go of the devil. They might have been prostitutes in a past life or something like that. And they're spiritually aware, but they're still kind of NPC too, because, or they're just a villain. Yeah, there's that. Or they're just, I'm not sure how they can access their power if you're going to be just a parasite, a spiritual parasite. They can access some of it, but they can only go so far. Yeah, you really have to disconnect from all of this stuff to really connect to your power. Be neutral, but also just, I don't know, not taking any sides, just being yourself, but being decent at the same time, but also understanding why people are the way they are, and not judging, and just being an alien, basically. And being very alone. Unless, of course, there's a fourth dimension, which I guess, well, needs something, right? Get the cat. Or a turtle, or whatever the hell it is. But it also shows in your, disconnecting from the matrix, you also see how many are lost here that are part of the secret space programs, that are just digging a hole for themselves more than anything. Now, some of it might be, it's growth, but yeah, it's harsh at the same time. Brainwashing others, and of course many feel like they're more advanced than they actually are. Doesn't mean they're not talented and all that. But they haven't quite healed release all the toxic mind control and everything that's there. There's a lot of it. Yeah, it's truly unplugging from the system. Yeah, it's not like you just unplug and that's it. You gotta release all this propaganda and everything that's been plugged into the system for such a long time. It's kind of like you're just let the cork screw, you unscrew your, and then all the sludge and all that pours out of you. It takes time though, because and some of it gets stuck on you. You know, you're still trying to. If they're even trying to clear that out, because some don't know how to do it for obvious reasons. Yeah, you're so used to all the propaganda and mind control here. It's not like you can just snap your finger, it's gone. It takes a while to, if you're wanting, because that's why somebody get pulled back into the matrix, because like they're just not ready to let go, not ready to let go of all the chaos, which I've talked about all this stuff before. So, but yeah, just to unplug is you know, do it for yourself, and kind of more than the fourth dimension, and just and they'll give us more insight here and there, because it's like you can't connect to these people physically. I mean, they gotta give you something. It's like, come on, man. It's like you try to help these people evolve, and most of them tell you F off. I'm gonna be a robot. It's like, okay. And, the universe needs to help. It's like, come on, man. You want me here to be here for what? For what reason? You gotta make it livable somewhat. And give you something to, hold on to, because you can't connect to society because it's so checked out. God. So anyway, that's all I got. All right, we'll just leave it at that. We'll have to ponder, hopefully. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to do the beach style. I will. Just kind of take a break. So.